We have a little bit of Catholic culture in our readings today. Many folks will greet each other in the church with "Praise be Jesus Christ," and the response is "now and forever." And then oftentimes what follows this is what we hear in our 121st Psalm. Our hope is in the Lord, and then the response is, "Who made heaven and earth?" Perhaps this is something that you do. Praise be Jesus Christ, now and forever. Our hope is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth. Often bishops, when they get up to preach, they begin their homily with that. Praise be Jesus Christ, now and forever. Our hope is in the name of the Lord. And the people respond, who made heaven and earth. A couple of weeks ago, I preached a homily on we've been in the second letter to Timothy for a few weeks now. And it was Paul's admonition to Timothy, getting these guys mixed up. Paul's admonition to Timothy, his protege, to guard this gift of our faith with the power of the Holy Spirit, that you have received this gift, this special gift. Guard it with the power of the Holy Spirit. And that gift is our faith. And I said that this is my motto as pastor here. And then last week, we had this thankfulness as part of our spirituality. And I said, what would happen? And in Paul's letter to the Colossians, he says, dedicate yourself to thankfulness. And the readings were full of this gratitude, with the lepers coming to Jesus, and then the one who was a foreigner coming back in gratitude, falling at the feet of Jesus. And it's like, what would our life look like if it was dedicated to gratitude? So we have the great gift of our faith. We have gratitude, or thankfulness, dedicating ourselves to thankfulness. And this week, we have the message of persistence in prayer. Persistence in prayer. That we must be persistent in prayer. And have this, it could have been an actual battle with Amalek and the people of the Hebrew people. And where Moses is sat upon a rock, and as long as his hands are up in prayer, that Israel had the better of the fight. Could be a symbol too of, as long as our hands are in prayer, Amalek could be a symbol of evil trying to overtake us, and that God, in our persistence in prayer, will protect us and guard us and save us from that. And then Jesus telling this parable of this woman who keeps going to the judge, render this just decision against my enemy. And it's like, man, she's wearing me out. I better give in to her, because she's gonna attack me. And I guess from what I hear, the Greek says, unless she comes and gives me a black eye, it's like she's gonna punch this judge out. Persistence in prayer. What does it look like? I'm going to give you one example. I have a photo here, and I've covered up the faces and the names of those involved to protect their anonymity and their privacy. Persistence in prayer. Now, I don't want to tackle the issue of divorce and remarriage in the church today. I want to talk about, and this is the situation here between these two. I want to talk about persistence in prayer and what I've seen it done for folks. So this gentleman, we'll call him Jay, approached me more than 10 years ago. And I was in another parish. And he said, "Father, I really would like to be restored to the sacrament of communion. But my wife and I had married outside the church, and I don't know what to do." And he told me what he had been doing. He says, "I've been praying for years before the Blessed Sacrament and adoration. and coming to Mass. Years he prayed. It's like, wow, I'm glad you came to us, because we're gonna put you in this process to find out about your eligibility for an annulment. And I said, look, there are some situations where folks have been divorced and remarried where we can restore them to the sacraments before an annulment, or even if an annulment does not happen. And that situation is one where some are eligible. We say, well, if you agree to live as brother and sister and come to us in confession, there is a formalized process called a frater soror agreement that is sent to the bishop. The couple signs this, and then the bishop signs it, and it says that we agree to live merely as brother and sister. And when one lives as brother and sister, some will ask, what does that mean? It means no, not going to get graphic here, but there's nothing that simulates the marital embrace. You live as if you were living with your sister. My sister's birthday is today, too. I'm hoping that I didn't tick her off by reminding her it's her birthday, because it's her 61st birthday. She's going to remind me next month when it's my 60th. I know that. So, living as brother and sister, going to confession, you can be restored. If nobody in the parish knows about this situation, it doesn't create scandal, can be restored to the sacraments. But I told Jay this, and they began the process. And I lost track of things because I eventually moved over here. But I know Jay is a man who is persistent in prayer. And this picture was sent to me just 3 months after I started here at St. Timothy's. And they have been restored to the sacrament. This is them exchanging their vows in a little ceremony in the church and being restored to the sacraments. I'm so happy for Jay and his wife, S. But this to me is a symbol, and I've seen many situations where it seemed maybe hopeless or foolish to pray. But I've seen people do it persistently and consistently. And God's time is not our time. God's time is not our time. But something beautiful has happened. Something beautiful has happened. And oftentimes, it is restoration to the sacramental life of the church. See, my job as priest is to be one of reconciliation, not to be a barrier, but one of reconciliation. There are people that I've asked, it's not just divorce and remarriage, but challenges in a marriage, problems in a marriage. I say, look, it's up to you, but if you want to give me a picture of yourselves, you and your spouse, maybe write your names on the back like here, I will post it in my private chapel where I sit and adore the Blessed Sacrament and pray for you as somebody that's on the journey, that's not just giving you the teaching, but also in at least one way, maybe there are others, that I can journey with you as we move to healing, move to maybe restoration, move to a new level, move to increased love within the marriage. But the Lord wants this for us. He wants reconciliation. So, friends, we have a precious gift. That is our faith. We need to guard it with the power of the Holy Spirit. And then a life of thankfulness can open the door to happiness. And persistence in prayer can lead to anything, including healing and restoration.